So yeah, I mean, like I said, if you made it past the classical music piano phase, then it's probably meant for you, right?
So what about you? How did you decide music was your passion?
Well, for me, it was similar to what you mentioned. I started on drums at sixth grade. Took some brief drum lessons in my middle school that they offered. I liked it. I enjoyed it. My dad played drums, played marching band drums in high school, and a lot of what I did was, based off of what my dad did to kind of emulate him in a way. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But between that and the sports that he played, I resonated a lot better with the music.
What type of music did he play?
Did he play?
Yeah.
Oh, just marching band. It was just in the marching band as a drummer. But he did introduce me to all the music I used to listen to, the first Pink Floyd, 80s. The Cars was the first cassette tape I ever listened to full on. Nice. The Cars by the Cars, the subtitled. I still love that album to this day. Nice. What's that one? Jenny, I got your number. Those nice. Old school 80s songs, man.
Yeah, for sure.
He introduced me to a lot of that old school stuff. So that's definitely my dad's influence on it. And then from there, I kind of just took it to myself to get a guitar for one of my birthdays. Taught myself how to start playing some chords. I never really took any lessons, and then I kind of, instead of trying, a lot of my friends who played guitar went and tried to learn Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath songs, and I just kind of decided I would sing my feelings over acoustic guitar chords.
Nice.
And that was the route I went, and I didn't get any attention. It wasn't the attention that my friends got for playing, say, Kashmir or Stairway to Heaven, but it's what I felt was right for me, right? Mm-hmm. And I did that for years. Finally found myself with a group of people. We called ourselves a band. That band was SOAR.
Okay.
Still love that name to this day. Sounds of a Revolution is the acronym for SOAR, and that was
nice.
I was 14.
That's really cool.
We were just a bunch of shitty teenagers trying to learn our shit, trying to just rock out, and it was fun. And I still stay in touch with those guys to this day, and at least half of them still play. But from there, we kind of went our separate ways, and then I stuck with one of them, Sam, and we kind of did an acoustic duo thing, which we called Bad Boy Scouts.
Okay.
We did that for about 2 years, and I was in New Jersey.
Were you a Boy Scout?
I was a boy. I'm an Eagle Scout.
Oh.
On my honor, I'll do my best to do my duty to God and my country.
All right,
yes.
guys. I was a Boy Scout until high school, yeah.
Really? How far did you get? Life for
Star.
life? Star?
Star, yeah.
Couldn't even make it to life, man?
I almost did. And
life for life, dude.
Drumline practice was the same night, and it was just...
I don't blame you.
It was the whole thing.
Yeah. But Eagle Scout and Boy Scouts in general, that definitely was a very impressionable time for me. So that's why we decided to name the group after that. Bad Boy Scouts, because that wasn't a typical one either, but there isn't really a typical one anymore. It's kind of a dying thing anyway.
Boy Scouts?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Why do you say that?
Well, with the whole homosexual leaders are fucking the scouts and the transgenders being allowed, and it's just kind of, it's really taken a toll for the worse. I mean, it's still a large organization, and I would put my kids in it, but it's really taken a lot of flack in recent years, which is a shame. So, I'm I'm glad that I was a part of it. I'm glad it taught me what I needed and really taught me a lot of skills, life skills that I will use to this day, probably more than high school or college. But it's just a shame how that is going right now, and it's another story for another day. But so Bad Boy Scouts until I moved to Houston, because obviously my friend wasn't going to move to Houston. So then I spent. That was January 2016. I moved to Houston, and
Where'd you come from?
New Jersey.
Okay.
New Jersey, Trenton, New Jersey, and he lives in Bordentown. So we were like, you call that Central Jersey, Mercer County, and I was also a recruiter, which I still am to this day, a recruiter for oil and gas, chemicals, and power industry. So
Cool.
I'm like a staffing guru at this point.
Wow.
But I started when I was 19. That was kind of like my bread and butter, what made me the money, so that I could pursue this, you know. And because of my mentor, the one who got me into staffing, I moved to Houston for oil and gas because that's where it is. This is the hub.
Yeah. For sure.
You know that. So, and it was a good choice. It was easy to find a job, and I make tons of money doing it. I mean tons of money, whatever. I mean, I make a living. I'm able to survive and like save a little bit. Not tons of money. I'm not even six figures, but for a single guy, it's nice.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. That's good.
So I'm still doing that to this day, but have been pushing my music stronger and stronger, realizing that that's where my passion is and my heart is in this.
So speaking of your job, your song talks about like do the job.
That's where we're going to. That's why I decided to play this song tonight, because the song is basically about following your dreams, not the money. You know, it's called "Do the Jump," because I realized that there's going to be a time in my career, in my life, if I make it that far, that I'm gonna have to decide one or the other. You know, I can play this happy medium that I've been doing for years, but one or the other is gonna suffer when I do. And right now, my job has been suffering because of it. Although I perform at a high level, I stunted my growth in my professional career because I've taken more of a pursuit towards my musical career, and I'm at the pinnacle of the decision I need to make. But I've written this song years ago, knowing somehow that this would happen, and probably just because I've been constantly in this situation where I've been tasked to choose between one or the other. Professional career, musical career. What are you gonna do?
So is that song kind of you singing to yourself almost, like just like take the jump, like make the leap?
Yeah, it's basically trying. Yeah,
like
exactly.
trying to give. The more I play it, the more I believe it.
You fucking called it, man. That's exactly what it is, man. It's sort of like a self mantra, you know, like an anthem for myself to just continue to pursue what I love, regardless of whether I might be broke. Because of it, because you know, at the end of the day, it's what makes you happy that's most important. You know, money is great and all, but it's not going to guarantee you happiness, right? It's what you do that makes you happy. So that is absolutely correct, and it's getting closer and closer to that breaking point, and I don't know when that'll be. It could be tomorrow, it could be 2 weeks, it could be 2 years from now. Where that breaking point happens, where I need to make one choice or the other. But in my mind right now, it's the music that I'm gonna fall into, you know. And if I've already taken the risks to determine that, I made those life choices at the age of 26. I'm on that path, but I'm holding out as long as possible, just because the money's so good that I want to be able to. And I not gonna lie, I enjoy what I do. I really do. It feels like a game to me, you know. Just like if you're not familiar with recruiting, it's basically just you get a job order. It's an electrical engineer for a refinery, and 10 other agencies are getting the same job order for this one person that needs to be placed. And this person could probably bring the company $15,000 to $25,000 a year in gross margin profit. So it's a hot roll, and we all from the jump go call our network if no one in our network is interested because the rate's too low or the location's bad. Then we go and we hit the job boards, and it's a video game to me because it's like I have competition, I've got a timeline, I've got criteria to meet. It's really fun, but at the end of the day, it's not fulfilling. This is fulfilling. So it's a tough choice to make, but I've been teetering on the line forever now. Yeah. So I'm just waiting until I fall off, and then I'll know where I stand.
Well, okay, let's talk Houston, like local Houston music scene now. Let's kind of change gears a little bit. Who are some of your favorite bands, venues to perform with or to watch, or like venues to attend versus perform at?
So personally, just because I'm in the northwest region of Houston, I've noticed that there is a scene up here that's separate from the downtown scene completely, which is separate from East Downtown, which is a whole other scene.
For sure.
But because of my proximity and my inclusiveness in the northwest scene, we'll talk about that. I really enjoy the open mics that we have at Acadia on Wednesdays. They're great. Sunrise After Party throws them. I'm not sure how long he's been doing it for, but David Ballantyne is a good guy.
Oh yeah,
great musician. He's been doing it for years too.
He told me he like went on tour at some point.
Yeah, he was on tour as a lead guitarist, in Tennessee and the Southeast, so I respect him a lot. Yeah. And then you've got Tommy on the sound. Tommy Skinner is
lights and sound and all that.
Although he's a little penis butthole,
but
I still love the guy, and he's really good at what he does.
Yeah, definitely.
So I enjoyed meeting those folks. Trying to think of other bands in that. Yeah, I mean, I don't see. Sometimes I don't even get the names of the people. But there was the Ranch for a while. Christian Davis, he's done a lot for me as well. Christian Davis, he works at MediaTek, and he's a really intelligent guy when it comes to recording and studio, and he's basically got a degree now from MediaTek, and he's in Collective Minds, which I also fill in for bass. So,
I didn't know you played with them.
Yeah, I do now. Yeah,
really
because their other bassists they parted ways, so I fill in for them for now, and maybe that'll become a permanent thing. But I'm in my own band, Eternal Turtle, with Jesus Gaylord, who's on the drums. So the time is going to be committed more towards my band than his, but I will for certain give it all I got with them on a bass. So there's Collective Minds. There's one group I really like that I haven't seen around a lot lately was Brainstorm for Tuesday. And then there's Zizix. Zizix has got Ian on the guitar. I forget the other folks' names. There's a lot of good music in Houston. There's really a lot of talent out here. And this is just Northwest I'm talking about, but there's so much talent. I mean, if you want to go downtown, I love Howard and the Nosebleeds, Wax Stream. What else is there? Oh, India Tigers in Texas. As you can tell, I'm very much into that psych wave.
They're from Galveston, right?
They're from Galveston, India Tigers.
I saw them on East Side a few years ago and was really impressed. I really like the like you say, psych wave, and they had little finger cymbals, which I'd never seen.
It's a theremin. It's called a theremin.
Okay.
So what that is, it's a little machine that has a little like sonic wave that's being transmitted, and when you interrupt the sonic wave, it makes a noise, and in certain areas, it makes different pitches, and that's what she does while she sings. Is she fucks with that, and it's a theremin.
Our friend Austin Bash actually got one of those recently.
I forgot to mention Austin. That's my boy, Austin Bash, and they glow in the dark.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're killing it lately.
We're actually playing a show with him on the 4th. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, I love him. I love him and his group, and he writes such good music.
That's at Acadia as well, right?
Yeah, he's been playing a lot at Acadia just on his own, but his music.
On the 4th, though? Is that at Acadia?
Yes, sir. Yes, yeah. That's us, them, and I forget who else, but that's going to be a good time. So,
the 4th of
April
2020.
Yes.
4th of April 2020.
Saturday. So, and Gavin Sasser is another gentleman. I think you might have heard of him.
Maybe.
He's been around a lot lately,
Maybe
but I'm playing with him on the 22nd of February. Actually next Saturday at Trilogy Brewery, and with my friend Caleb of the Smashing Potatoes. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in the Houston scene. What I think the Houston scene lacks is unity. You know,
I hear that a lot.
Yeah, it's because a lot of it's so separated. We're such a sprawling city where it's like northwest and then east downtown.
It's very large. It's hard to unless you're have that time your full-time job and make the money for gas to go all around. It's tough to get plugged in with everything, but
it's almost impossible.
Yeah. There's just so much going on.
You've got to pick and choose who are the right people. You know,
sure, definitely.
So yeah, that's basically it. I mean, for local Houston music, what I've really enjoyed was the Psych Wave band group. Psych Wave that's been coming through. So Indian Tigers was probably the initial group because they've been around since 2016, 2017. Howard and the Nosebleeds, which you should check out.
Definitely.
Everybody should check out. Wax Dream Band. These are the guys I really see in Houston as. I like that personally, but there's also there's a heavier scene. There's a more softer acoustic scene. There's a house music scene. There's so much going on out here. We just need a little bit more consolidation if we want to have the success that our brothers and sisters in Austin and San Antonio have. Well, San Antonio, Heaton's neither here and there, but I'm really thinking more Austin, trying to emulate what they've got going on.
Oh yeah, especially with their festivals like ACL and South by.
Exactly. We have a couple that go on here, right? There's one coming up in April, right?
The for Texas Children's Hospital benefiting that. It's the a minute I should know the name of it. I'm thinking.
Nice job.
It's
Jordan.
the Tune Out Cancer Festival
there
at the
go.
Wildcatter Saloon in Katy, Texas.
Wildcatter, what a place, man.
Yeah.
You know what I saw at Wildcatter?
What did you
Midget wrestling.
I saw a flyer for
shit
that.
Was badass, man.
That's awesome.
I had a really good time there.
I've still not been to see it, but I was going to the bathroom, saw the flyer. I was like, that looks really interesting. I was just there yesterday seeing that.
Yeah, I went there in 2017 to see that. It was good. Wildcatters is great. I think they've got potential to grow. That's what it is. It's venues that have the right ownership. That are willing to partner up with artists like ourselves and treat us fairly, but also treat their employees fairly and run a proper business. You know, that's one thing. So
have you been to Scout Bar?
Have not yet. I've been told to.
Yeah, you should check it out. Scout Bar is between Galveston and
It's
Houston.
It's in Clear Lake.
Yeah, that's where it is. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely when I was mainly sticking with the Northwest side, I definitely felt that struggle of feeling like there wasn't a lot of unity, but kind of venturing out a bit more to downtown and whatnot, even going to some stuff at Scout Bar, I've sort of noticed and I actually got the opportunity to go to the H-Town Awards downtown this year and the Support Local Music Awards at Scout Bar, and just being at events like that, getting to see all that talent all in one place at one time, supporting each other, like taking pictures, hanging out, getting awards, congratulating each other, that really, really, like, helps me to feel, like, get some hope, It's like, okay, we're not the only ones feeling this. Like, other people are trying to, like, make that unity thing happen. And I think the H-Town Awards, it was the second year. The Support Local Music Awards, it was the fourth year. So it's like, it's all pretty new. But, like, there are some really good people out there. Like, Don Tino does Support Local Music. I know a bunch of businesses were involved in H-Town Awards. 91.1 The Boss from the Woodlands, they were a big part of making that happen. And yeah, I mean, any way that you can try and get plugged into stuff like that that's going on, that helps to get, like, this better perspective of just, like, okay, cool, maybe we're not the most unified yet, but
we have the talent, and we have the people who want to.
The people.
That's great. That sounds great to me. Obviously, it's not gonna take 7 days, to get to where we need to be.
Yeah, we're not God. We can't just speak it into existence.
Exactly. But we are a community, and if we continue to act like that, we'll get there.
Definitely.
And it might take years, but I think Houston's got a lot of potential. Really do.
For sure.
Really do.
Well, on that note, anything you want to talk about before we...
No, like I mentioned, we are Eternal Turtle. I'm Percy from Eternal Turtle. I have a show on the 22nd of February at Trilogy Brew. It's next Saturday. Then we have a show potentially, the show on April 4th is for sure at Acadia with Austin Bash and They Glow in the Dark. And then I'll have another show with Collective Minds. So I'll be filling in on bass with them and then playing afterwards with Eternal Turtle for their album release party at the Jive. And then the next day on the 19th, I believe I will be playing either the 420 Fest or a health and wellness group in downtown on Richmond at Richmond Studios. So please check us out at Eternal Turtle on Facebook, also on Instagram, Eternal Turtle, and I hope to see you guys soon.
All right, thank you so much. Glad to have you.
Thanks, Jordan.
All right.